In this homework, you will complete the project we started in the lecture. Let's kick off. Create a Python file called person.py, and in this file, create a class called person with the instance attributes you decide. Add string method of the class as well. Create a derived class from person, a child class of person called passenger, with the instance attributes of person class plus nationality, passport number, flight date attributes. Inside the init method, assign an empty string to the seatNow attribute of the instance. Inside passenger class, define a method setSeatNumber, which takes two arguments, self and seat number, and assign seat number to self.seatNumber. Then create a file called airlines.py, and in this file import all classes we created so far. Import also datetime and random modules. Create a class called airlines. Assume that the airlines instance we will create has only airplane with two rows, 1 and 2, and 6 seats per row, A, B, C, D, E, F. Create two class variables, seat rows, a list 1, 2, and seat position, a string A, B, C, D, E, F. The instance attribute is corporate name, and inside the init method, add the attribute called seatMap and assign an empty dictionary to it. Create a method called createSeatMap, which takes one argument, self, and which updates the seatMap attribute of the instance with keys generated from class variable seatRows and seat position. For example, key is 1A and the value initially is free. Here is an example of the dictionary we will create. Then create a derived class called flight from airlines class with the following instance attributes: corporate name, flight number, a string, depart and airport instance, arrive and airport instance, and depart time, a datetime object. Add an attribute called passenger list and assign it to an empty dictionary. Call self.createSeatMap method to update seatMap attribute, and finally copy seatMap attribute and assign it to the last attribute called available seats. Create a method called updateAvailableSeats, which takes one argument self, and it generates a new dictionary from available seats dictionary, taking only key value pairs where value is free, and assign it to available seats attribute of the instance. Create a method called addPassenger, which takes two arguments, self and passenger is a passenger class instance. Call choice method of random module with the argument list of self of available seats of keys, and assign it to seat number. Create a variable called key and assign passenger to it. Create a variable called value and assign seat number to it. Assign seat number to seat number attribute of passenger with the method setSeatNumber with the argument seat number. Assign value to passenger list attribute of the instance with the key equal to key, and assign occupied to seatmat attribute of the instance with the key equal to key. Finally, call self.updateAvailableSeats method. Finally, create two more methods inside flight class, string method and create a ticket method as follows, or at your own style. I want to show you also what will give whatever we did up to now. At the end of airlines file, I create an instance of the class airport with city name Paris, country name France, airport name Roissy, and the corresponding geographic coordinates. Create another instance of the class airport with city name Buenos Aires, country name Argentine, airport name Ezeiza, and the corresponding geographic coordinates. Then create an instance of the class flight with corporate name Air France, flight number AF112, airport depart Roissy, arrive Ezeiza, and flight date time, year 2025, month 8, date 30, hour 15, and the rest is 0. Create 4 lists called first names, last names, nationalities, and passport numbers. And with a for loop, using for lists, create 6 instances of passenger class called passenger, add a passenger method of the flight instance, flight Roissy Ezeiza we created with the argument passenger, and similarly create a ticket method of the flight instance, flight Roissy Ezeiza we created with the argument passenger. Finally, take a glance to available seats attribute of the instance flight Roissy Ezeiza. Before running the code, I would remind you that I could add another attribute to flight class instance called estimated arrival time and calculate it with the submethod of airport class and average speed of an airplane and the time difference between two airports. I run my code and I will have 6 tickets for the 6 passengers I created. And at the end, just to glance the free seats of the flight, I print the available seats of the flight instance.